Hi and welcome back to Gray's Gardening. My name is Gray and this is my channel showing you everything I'm doing down at my allotment and home garden. So in my last video I actually filmed too much footage. So part 1 came out a few days ago and this is actually part 2, but then I realised I didn't have an intro. So I'm at my home garden at the moment. This is the intro, so let's jump straight back over to the allotment. So one of my more unusual plants is the honeyberry. This lives in the greenhouse over the winter, and then I tend to bring him out once it warms up. But last year I lost all the fruits to the birds, so I said to myself, right, he's gonna stay in the greenhouse as soon as those fruits start to ripen. Anyway, I've come down to the plot, and luckily I've managed to get here just in time because these have already started to ripen. So these are the honeyberry, as you can see. They're like an elongated blueberry. I've got quite a few that still haven't ripened, so hopefully you can just make those out, but they're the best ones there. Let's give them a little try. Also tastes like a blueberry, but probably a bit sweeter. That's nice though. Sadly, I don't think I'm going to get any apricots this year. We had an awful lot of blossom. Lots of little ones did start, but there's now nothing that I can see now anyway. Sometimes it does take a little while because the fruits themselves, you can't see them till they go big and orange. I thought I did see one the other day, but maybe not. Can't find it now. So sadly, maybe no apricots. But we come over to the cherry tree and I think we're doing okay here. So here's a couple. They're started nicely. There's a nice big juicy one. There it is. This is the Morello cherry. Got lots of cherries on here. So they're doing well. I don't normally get any cherries though, because as soon as they're ripe, the birds eat them. And actually looking here, I think I've already lost a few. I doubt they've gone completely red. Maybe they get eaten before they even go red. I have to keep an eye on that. But I've got another cherry tree. Here's another one, and this one has never given me any cherries, but this year it's really is looking good. I can just focus in on those cherries there. There we go. They should be nice. There's a whopper. So lots of cherries on there, but again, will I get them before the birds? Only time will tell. And sadly, some kind of pest or mite has eaten my plum tree. I had tons of plums on here and now next to nothing. Can't see any at all, and you can see the leaves. All these leaves have been eaten by something. It did happen a few years ago and I managed to spray it early on in spring, but this year I didn't manage to, and I can't see one single plum. I think the tree itself's gone a bit big, so I'm gonna have to lop that down a bit. No idea what's happened to my pears this year. I had hundreds of pears on here and they've all just died up. Here's one, look. They've just withered. They just died on the plant. Don't know whether it's the conditions. Don't know whether some kind of mite got it. Look, here's another one. What has happened to my pears? Anyone knows what happens to pears sometimes? This is a conference pear. In fact, I've just found one. Maybe we'll get a few. There's not many on here compared to what there was only about a month ago. Most of them have wilted, withered, gone black and dropped off. If you know what affects pear trees, please let me know also. But my good old favourite Golden Delicious apple tree has got plenty of apples on it. So just come round, you can see each of them. Hopefully you can see that. There's lots of little bunches of apples in here. Hopefully we'll get some decent golden delicious this year. There's some nice ones on the end. I've managed to plant in my courgettes, got 4 of those in, and dotted in between them all we've got the beetroot. I haven't done beetroot for a number of years. I don't really like beetroot, but my wife and daughter do, so I'm growing it for them. Must have about 24 beetroot in here, so let's hope they establish. No idea if you're meant to plant beetroot with courgettes. Hopefully they will be able to coexist and I'll get both of them together. The soft fruit bed is all being weeded, and here we go. We've got black currants, plentiful amount of black currants. We've got the gooseberries, which haven't yet gone red, but these do turn red. They're very, very sweet. You can pick them straight off the bush. That's absolutely fine. You don't need to cook them. They're not too sour, and you get an absolute abundance of them. Hopefully you can see them all on there. Last year I lost them all to the birds, and this entire fruit bed will eventually be under a polytunnel that I hope to put in. But we've also got lots of raspberries. They're starting nicely. We've got red raspberries, yellow raspberries, autumn raspberries, summer fruiting raspberries. There's a good one starting off. There you go. So as I say, there'll be a polytunnel going over this eventually. And then just here we've got the Japanese wineberry. They're about to, well, they'll open in a few more weeks. So looking quite healthy. Here's my medlar tree, new tree that went in last year, which produces fruit that looks like a dog's bottom. So we will be waiting, and I think it's safe to say these are forming this year. You can see that quite nicely. That is the fruit there swelling up. So it'll be interesting to see. Banana trees now sending out their big summer leaves. Here we go, look at the size of that. These can provide, once they're in full leaf, some well needed shade at times. So this is the Musa Bajju. As you can see, I trimmed these right back over the winter. That's where I cut them back to. And then ever since then, we've been growing and growing and growing. And what are we now? About 10 foot tall, potentially, some of those leaves. Look at that one, absolute beauty. And then the new leaf comes out through the middle. That grows up, folds down and sends out another one, almost like an onion unraveling. This is a slightly more unusual plant. This is called the Chilean Guava. Well, hopefully you can just pick up what these are. These are just starting. They are the Chilean Guava fruit. They grow to the size of about a blueberry, but they're very, very, very tasty. Taste almost like custard apple is probably the best description of it. Sweet with an appley custard taste to it, and you can see there is going to be tons of these, looking very healthy this year. Just next to it was something I did in the spring. Here we go, we've got nice poppies. I never managed to get many poppies, so I made up. I'm going to get some. These are all different colours, and just see there's lots of poppy heads starting out. There's one, and then right through the middle, a bit more unusual, it's a sycamore tree that I'm training into it to be like a standard pot variety. Just going to keep trimming it, make it like that lollipop shape, and then just dotted around the bottom is the poppies. Something new I've just put in the other day. This is the Goji berry. These grow in the Himalayas, so it'd be interesting to see if we ever get any goji berries. Meant to be a superfood or super fruit, full of all kinds of vitamin C, vitamin D, and all kinds of good things like that. So there's a new one. See how we get on with that. And then just finally over here is my gunnera, which if you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I want to plant this in the ground. It's just currently sitting in a pot right now. I try and keep it as wet. I try and keep it as wet as possible because it's a bog plant. But nice big leaves. Here's the size of that. These grow 10 times bigger than that. But for now, there he is, doing quite well. Right, thanks for watching everybody. As always, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.